I remember Teresa during our video time very, very much. But now hearing from my daughter, I've been hearing that 1984. I remember very much that I think I went to your wedding.
Yes.
And from there, I remember that trip when you married to Trip and meeting you, Teresa, and your father, and all these ceremonial event when we get to know students more than in the class and when they wear the clothes. I still remember. I think that was my first wedding to attend in America.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, that was I remember, and we became a friend from 1984 because I got married in 1984. I came to America, and now I'm hearing that you also joined yoga in 1984. So there was a connection was made.
Yes, there was a connection, and we actually got married in 1989.
Okay.
And so,
So I remember that time very much because students always goes in the class, come out, little chat and leave, right?
yes, exactly.
Those days I was very much like behind the I didn't teach that time. Did you take my class 1989?
Yes, but okay, I think after 1989, but I don't remember you teaching early on.
Earlier,
Early on,
no,
because
no,
Bikram
no.
taught every class.
5 years I didn't teach after I got married. I was taking care of business. So I was behind this, I think the desk especially. And
Yes.
that's the way I started. I remembering Trip I remember very well. I know I remember you, but I know Trip very much because Trip and Kareem was the two tall guy who used to come, or other basketball player, and used to sit behind. Remember 9301, we had a desk and
Yes.
we had the sofa, and they always used to sit there and they always enjoy the class and complain about class. So I was the one who was like the friend with them and talking about how great this class is. And they used to tell me how great this class is, but both are like sweating and sitting. You were like young and fit, and your mother was always like a very go-to, person, like dressed, always well dressed.
Oh, yeah, that's my mother.
That's
Yes.
yeah, I remember that, and it was now I'm going back, flashback, like almost how many years? 40
Almost.
years.
Just about 40 years.
It's 40 years, and I'm just remembering. Yeah, it was like beautiful time we had.
We did. And that's very interesting you said that because I remember getting to know you better after the 5 years. I remember that's when we started becoming, I think, better friends.
Better friends,
Was
exactly.
when I got
exactly.
married. But I think that was the beauty about yoga is that it was like a family. Do you remember the Bikram's birthday party where we went to Will Rogers and
That's exactly I was just going to
Wagner.
say. Robert Wagner came with the horses. Remember that?
with the horse?
And that happened exactly right after I got married.
Yes, that
So
was right
that
after you got
right
married. Yes.
after I got married, and we all went with Amy and Bob and all with Will Rogers Park with the horses, and we used to do the outdoor picnic that time.
Yes, we did.
And we all took the food, and we had a great time.
But see, that was what's so great about it is it was like family. Because we
That
did, and
was-
we did things, and you're right, we did
Yeah,
things
we did
outside of yoga.
Outside of
And
yoga,
that's what
exactly.
it wasn't just your yoga teacher, we were friends. And that was what really connected us all.
Basically, those days, it's if you think now, we were young, and our kids were not born.
Yeah, they weren't.
We had more time.
We did
were
have more
busy.
time.
We're busy with our careers, but we didn't have involved in the family life, so we didn't have those things. Anything we did, we all went out together.
Yeah.
We all went out dinner together. We did our yoga, all outdoor parties, picnics, everything we did together. It was not anybody's home. Every time we planned it, we always did outside.
We did outdoor
Yeah,
things, and
yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a great time doing all that.
Very much.
Next question. Okay. So, Teresa, how many months pregnant were you when you were shooting in my mom's video?
I was 4 months pregnant at the time, so I wasn't showing as much as some of the other women in the video.
I think I was almost close to 9 months. 2 weeks after I gave a birth of my child.
So you guys were about 5 months apart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we needed that in the video because she was not, she was saying, I don't show. I said, I need some people, some woman there that doesn't show, but did yoga before even, get pregnant. And during the pregnancy, continuing the same yoga practice. Of course, our routine was a little different than regular Bikram series because we had to do prenatal. Do you remember that day what happened? Do you remember that Bikram didn't wanted to change any poses, and then Amy was
Oh,
our great influence,
I
Amy and
forgot that.
Dottie.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that.
Wow,
I
and
forgot all about
do
that.
you remember
Oh,
that?
now I
And we
remember.
did yoga like 18 hours almost.
Oh, we did.
We
We
did. Videotaped
So
18
just
hours.
to clear that up, Bikram did not want to modify any of the postures during the pregnancy sequence, right? Because
Exactly.
he was so down to the 26 and 2. But
Exactly.
Emmy Cleaves, the principal, um, interjected and let you guys, or made sure that you guys had
Well,
modifications.
actually, what happened, we practiced modifications. We practiced with the modified prenatal series. That's what we started doing it during when my daughter was, I was pregnant with my daughter, but we didn't have a time to do the video. We only did I did some picture shoot. And then I wanted to do this in the video, DVD. That time we did video, then video later
then
on
we
was
did the
the
DVD.
DVD because 40 years, so many things happen, like all these new
Oh, all the new
innovations, the
technology.
new technology. And so I remember that we all went to the studio and we had a designers fit into
Oh,
all our, remember,
yes, I remember.
Sintaram,
Yes, I
the
do remember
husband
that.
did it. And then on the shoot, Bikram went there and Bikram didn't, never saw our practice session, and he went there. He said, why are you changing all this? You have to do what mine. And then we said, no, this is for the prenatal because when you're pregnant, you can be on your belly doing all this. So we did some modification. And then I remember that Amy was supported and Dottie.
And Dottie, both of them.
Both of them. They said, no, and now that video was our first video, prenatal video in the world, though. There was no other yoga session
Wow.
that time. Yes.
And I remember doing it, and I remember the more I got pregnant, though, I remember because I was like you, I was doing it up till when I delivered
Then
my
you
daughter.
did it, yeah.
And I remember standing bow was so much better because you have all that weight to pull you down. So
Exactly.
by standing bow, I was like really low down to the ground, because you
Exactly.
got the weight pulling you down.
But see, this is the connection. See, 1984, we met. We knew each other. We were same age. Then when you get married, I was married. We all went to your wedding. We became a close family friend. We did the video together, and the kids are born after each other. Like I think that was your daughter.
That was
the
my daughter,
first,
my
first
third,
one.
yes. And
But
then
mine was the second child. So, and 40 years later, we are sitting here.
I know, and we went to the birthday party because we used
Yes.
to go when my kids were little. We went to the birthday party where you had Barney, and my kids came to that party at your house.
Oh
And
my
we
God.
used to go and
That Barney, yeah. I will never forget that because my son was so worried about the big character of Barney. And I think I did it because I love that character. And you guys were
he was scared.
I
Barney.
think the mom was more happy with seeing Barney than the
Than her
kids.
son.
And then the kids jumped on us. And we were enjoying with Barney.
But then also, I went to Laju's birthday party, her 25th birthday party. So we all connected. It wasn't just when the kids were little, and we went for that birthday party, and then my mom came and my son. So we were there. So it's just we go full circle.
Have you felt ever like we are sitting here talking together in your law school? Do you have how many friends like that you meet them after 40 years and you talk about the decades of event and laugh?
See, I don't. I mean, that's the funny thing is that I don't have that. And yet here, because of the yoga, I don't know. And there's something special about it, that the bond, because no, I don't
Yeah.
really, I haven't seen a lot of people that I practice law with in maybe 40 years. I didn't connect with them through the years. Yet the yoga has tied us together through the years because we still have been able to see each other and then do other things besides just the yoga together.
I think that's the key of
It's the cement
what
that ties
is
us together.
what is the meaning of yoga? It's not the posture, learning through postures, but actually we connect the joy, the togetherness as a family, and fun when we do things outside together with family, and even pain.
Well, exactly. Yes.
Pregnancy, I think we had a lot to share about.
Oh, we did.
We remember that each one of us doing yoga. Did you have gone through how many hours of labor pain? I still remember that was how every one of our first question. How did you deliver? What did you feel? Remember that?
Yes, I do
We
remember
were
that.
all as a mother, anxious mother, and we all have. And in first pregnancy, I always remember that is a first questions everyone. How
Of
did
course.
your pregnancy gone through? Yeah, it's like, and I think you did also book.
Yes,
You wrote a
I
book
wrote a
on
book on yoga for kids.
yoga for kids. Yes, that's so. I'm so happy to see you here again.
Too, and you look exactly the same.
You
I mean,
too. You
see,
too.
but I think it's because of the yoga.
More than that, our spirit didn't change
Yeah,
because
that's a good
you and
point.
me, we both meet with like open arms to greet each other. That's the most, I think I felt it. That's when I saw you today, because I just got back and I heard that you were here. And I said, oh, please tell her to wait for me, that you should not leave, because I wanted to see you and your son. And I said, okay, it will be so nice to see again, reconnect with you, because time to time we go through Facebook, but meeting like this and talking, I think spirit.
It is spirit. You're right about that. It is the
Yoga
spirit.
is all about that, being the connected with the spiritual aspects or spirit, the energy.
Yeah,
And
it's more than just the postures. You're right. It's
Yeah.
not just the postures. It's more. You're right. The spirit.
Spirit.
This. Yes, I agree with you.
Spirit and
100%.
the energy, we share when we talk about it. All this, you were talking about all these movie stars, and I was going back with that vibes. It was a gift for us that time, how they used to come and how we spend the time with them when they used to be in the yoga class, right?
Yes. And you know what the gift is too is that I remember, and Bikram used to say this, which is the truth. He goes, he didn't matter
Yeah,
who they were. You
who
know what I
they
mean?
were.
Because he said, they could be anybody, but
He treated
everyone
everybody
the
same.
same.
He
And you
treated
know what?
everybody
And
same.
that's what was really great about it was that, we could be in the room with, some movie star, but it didn't matter because we
Exactly.
all were going through the same thing, and
Exactly.
it didn't matter who you were.
Exactly.
In a yoga, in the Bikram's room, you're just in the yoga room, you're just who you are. You know what I mean? And that's it. And we're all the same.
I mean, I remember the Martin and Janet used to come.
Oh,
and
yes.
They are all the sons. And then, yeah, I mean, all of you guys, name you are talking about. I think we have to remember really 40 years ago how many more stars has come. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. And
And
Bikram was really known as the
Guru of the
to
stars.
stars, guru
Yeah,
of the stars,
Guru
because he
of the
was in
stars.
Beverly Hills. I mean, that's where he started. Was in Beverly Hills.
That was the first one. So I was listening and listening your interview, and I was one point I wanted to ask. She asked a very good questions as a global. Um, right now, we have so many studios around the world. We still meet. We all feel very comfortable, all of us knowing the place to go, that we know that some connection is there, that you can keep your health and you can keep your social life associated. If you even go for business, you still have like a feeling of knowing the community we belong to. Now, this is a very controversial questions, but I ask you. A lot of people say that cult, when you talk about it.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Yes. So, can you clarify?
Yes, I can because it's kind of irritating to me when people call it a cult, and because it's not. And I think that you have to understand from someone, especially me who's practiced this long, it's not a cult. I don't feel in any way. I feel like it's more a connection, and people like this kind of yoga. You know why they like it? Because they know it works, because it is something that Bikru's guru taught him and wanted him to bring here to the United States to learn, right? So it's just a sequence of poses that we do to make ourselves feel better, and it works every single part of your body. And that's what's the beauty of it, is just that. But it's not, I don't understand why people think it's a cult. I really, it doesn't make any sense to me at all, because it's not. It's be the same thing as saying, oh yeah, you go to a Ashtanga yoga class. Well, it's a cult because you all practice Ashtanga yoga. It's no, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just, we like it. It's hatha yoga. And it's a sequence of postures that has been developed, that is scientifically proven to work on every single part of your body. And that's all it is. It's just hatha yoga. It's not a cult. I mean,
Glad to.
I think that people, I think a lot of it has gotten a bad rap, so
Yeah.
to say. And I think that people should look past that feeling it's a cult or whatever, this or that. I think they need to get past that and see what really counts is the yoga and the spirit
Yes.
behind it. And like you were talking about, that's what it's really all about. It's
I-
about the sequence of the poses and working with yourself to make yourself a better person. That's what it's
That
about.
is, I think that's a very good say. You said it, like when you are challenged, and when you are challenging the group of people, when you are practicing together, and when you are challenged within yourself, is nobody is challenging you, you challenging within yourself, to keep up. Like you and me were in the class, and we are 60s, and you saw that group of practitioners, they are doing better than us. As a practitioners of and appreciate the life and yoga, what's the really meaning of yoga, we never felt it challenge there. Even half of the time, like I haven't practiced myself 2 weeks. I was in India with my mother. I had to sit down because to keep up my stamina. But I enjoyed, So I think that's where people feel, do the mistake. When you get challenged, you blamed it's a cult. I don't want to go. Do you agree that?
Yes, I agree. I never thought of it that way, but I totally agree with you. I think when people do get challenged, they don't know what else to say. So therefore they're
Exactly.
going to label something
Yeah.
because they don't understand it, or they can't do it themselves. You know what I mean? And so so I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I think that people start labeling things.
And that's so bad that when they label and they don't understand that they are stopping others because of somebody is listening to them, and when actually they're stopping themselves first to grow,
Yes.
and then they're stopping the generations to grow. And I feel like that's a very wrong approach when we take for the, when we make this kind of a statement, wrong approach for the community and the society.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that it is the wrong approach, and I think that it hinders other people's
Yes.
growth. I think that I really do. I think that they're not being, and also listen, if you're a yogi or a yogini, or woman,
Whatever
yoginis,
yoga
but
means to you. Yeah.
exactly. But I think that someone who practices yoga should not be that way anyway, because it's rather a judgment. You know what I mean? And yoga is really non-judgmental, because
Non-judgmental.
no matter what kind of practice of yoga you do, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter whether it's in the
Exactly.
Bikram yoga or what other kind of yoga, but to judge like that, I think is just wrong. And you're right, it hinders other people.
Yes.
Because if someone says that, then they get that in their mind. So then they say,
Exactly.
"Oh, I'm not going to try that because it's a cult." Well, then
Yeah.
they're the ones that are missing out, because it's such a great way to be able to challenge yourself, and that's what life's all about. Like you said before, it's your spirit, it's challenging yourself, it's growing. How are you going to grow unless you try new things
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
and move your body? And I like that. That's what's the beauty about this class, is that I don't care if I'm 60 and other people are way more flexible than me, or whatever. But it doesn't matter, because when I'm in that class, I'm only focusing on myself.
That's the main
Because
thing.
you are like laser focused on
Yeah.
yourself, and if what everyone else is doing, it's
And
fine.
especially that's what we lose, focus on ourselves. We try to focus on others and try to correct others, and then we can see that. I think in right now, that's the yoga will never disappear, and I can promise Bikram yoga will never disappear.
No.
It will. Someone can try to stop, but it will always come back. because the truth will never die.
That's true.
It will
You're right.
always.
And listen, it's still going strong now.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not. I mean, I agree with you 100%. The truth never will die,
Yeah.